Well, I think Larijani, when he came to Pakistan last week, I think he spoke the truth. And our people also uh, spoke about our closeness with Iran. Actually, traditionally, both Iran and Pakistan have been very enjoying very close and cordial relations officially, I would say officially, because there is a difference between official relationship and the practical relationship. So practically, they have had problems for obvious reasons because of their situation. So they have some geostrategic and geopolitical differences. But during the recent crises, Palestine related, Gaza related, Israel related, Pakistan has extended its traditional support to Iran. We have maintained a very good policy, as always. Now, obviously, the challenge lies ahead because one constant of our foreign policy has always been that we have never allowed our relationship with Iran to be affected at the cost of our relations with the Arab countries. So Arabs and Iran, these two have been a factor of constant foreign policy. They are rooted in our history, in our geography, in our culture, in our religion. But at the same time, we have similar relations in different dimensions with our Arab friends also. So we maintained closeness of both sides, our relations, without letting any side's relationship getting affected. Now, this question which Larjani raised here, I'm sure our people must have showed our full support. And just as Iran has good relations with other neighbors, with China, well, Afghanistan has a problem. And I think Larijani has given assurances to our side that whatever Iran can do, they will do. But obviously, they also have problems vis-a-vis Afghanistan. In fact, Afghanistan has been one factor where both Iran and Pakistan have had differences because our support to the Taliban, the Iranians had problems with the Taliban. So there are problems in all sorts of things. So I think our people have handled the situation very politely and very effectively. But our problem is, Bunyadi taur par our problem is our domestic situation. As long as we are weak domestically, we cannot extend our full support to the Iranians. We cannot overcome our difficulties with the Afghans. So I have always, right at that time also, I said that we have our problems. So as long as we do not overcome our problems domestically, we cannot handle our neighbors, relations with our neighbors, neither with Iran nor with Afghanistan. In fact, with China also, we have very serious difficulties because only recently there were 3 Chinese again killed close to our border and the Afghanistan border. So these are difficulties, and our side somehow is obsessed with Taliban. Yes, Taliban, they are not a state. So it is now 50, 60-year-old problem, and we still have not been able to manage to take care of our own house. Because if Afghan side, they are helping people to come inside, it is our weakness. Who are these people, TTPs? They are Pakistanis who became Taliban, who went and became... Why didn't we control them? The problem is BLA and TTP, they are our headache, our problem. So unless we control them domestically, we can't expect that Taliban will control our people and will not let them come in, and India will take advantage. So this is a very complex situation. And it's basically the problems are our own problems. The moment we overcome, for example, Balochistan, it is now 25 years, 20 years or 25 years. Musharraf killed Bukti in 2004, and that war is still going on. Balochistan, for different reasons, because obviously the Indians have been taking advantage. So Iran has a role to play, but they have their own problems. They have their own problems. America is their biggest problem. During his first term, President Trump scratched the nuclear deal that had been negotiated over a period of 9 years. It took them 9 years, those 5+1 Security Council members and plus Germany. So they had negotiated under American pressure. But that deal, which was negotiated after 9 years and signed in 2015 in Vienna, Trump, the moment he came to power during his first term in the 2016, 2017 में इसने वो डील स्क्रैच कर दिया था. Trump is not forgotten Iran's nuclear, although he has destroyed their facilities, but still the problem persists. And I'm sure Israel and Trump, they will not spare Iran as long as Iran's nuclear program is totally becomes ineffective. But again, the thing that Iranians are not the people who will surrender to America or to Israel. Well, I don't think that Iran has such close relations with the Afghans. I said the Afghans are not sincere with anybody. They are sincere only to themselves. We should know by now. And they know how to fight. The Americans wanted to fight with them after 9/11, and they made a mistake because they imposed the wall, but then they didn't know how to get it. Eventually, they had to. Trump had, during his first term, he had to ask Imran Khan to help him. So Imran Khan helped them in reaching the Doha Accords, basically. It was Imran Khan's government that facilitated. I know this because I was also part of that process. Although I was retired, but I remember that we got various Afghan factions invited to Nathia Gali, and we persuaded them that they must have peace with the Americans so that the Americans can go. So the 2020 agreement, it was 2020 or 21. So that agreement was signed and the Americans left. But the problem was that before that peace could be consolidated, Imran Khan was removed. And then also the man who was handling the Taliban, he was removed. So, our own problems, internal problems intervene, and that is why we are still facing these difficulties. And I'm sure that people who are at the helm of affairs, they know how to handle this. I'm sure they know this because they are the ones, they will have to negotiate with the Taliban and there is no substitute to proper negotiations with the Taliban. And with your neighbors, you can't fight wars. I think if that happens, we should encourage Iran. And Iranians, uh, they had problems initially when they were laying down a pipeline with India. And I was ambassador at that time in Iran. So I had proposed to them, to the Iranians, that why don't you, they were planning that pipeline to pass not through Pakistan, but by the other route. So I told them, and then they agreed. So for some time, we were working on that pipeline. But unfortunately, again, for reasons of our own, that pipeline was never implemented. तो अभी ये है कि इंडिया, पाकिस्तान, ईरान, चाइना, Turkey, these are countries that can work together, and it is of utmost importance. मैं बता दूं कि because of the current situation, because as long as there is a man called Donald Trump, who is not a politician, who is not even a diplomat, he's just a businessman. Or whatever he does it only for his own interest. So we have to take care of our own interests, and not by relying ourselves on the American, on one man show in America. So uh, uh, we should have better relations with India. We should have close relations with Iran, and Iran can help in both amelioration of our relations with Afghanistan and also India. So these are factors that are worth considering. And I think our people are very much conscious of the changing scenario. So we should work on alternatives. No, I don't think we can play any role there because America's problems with Iran, we can't play any role in that. The only thing is that to some extent we may have perhaps helped the Americans in understanding the situation, but we couldn't persuade him to not to attack Iran. So he attacked. And even now, the day he thinks that he has to do this, nobody can stop. Pakistan cannot stop him. In fact, we cannot stop Trump from doing anything. Or I'm sure that soon the way he rejected Modi, who was a very close friend of Trump, he is going to treat us in the same manner soon because of his next target being China. And already things are happening showing that Trump is having problems with China. So although he's having direct contacts with President Xi Jinping, but let's hope that that situation remains under control. He doesn't create any problems with China. So we should not be, confident of any role that we can play in Iran's relations with America, or in yes, China's relations with the United States. We have a tradition. We have in the past, in the 1970, during President Nixon's time, President Yahya played an unprecedented role at that time, and it was a secret diplomacy. And as a result, China was back to its original seat, P5 seat in the Security Council. And so that was a global entente that we helped negotiate with the Americans and the Chinese. So अभी तो ये है कि it's a very, the situation is in a flux, and we don't know. We should take care of our own interests, what we can do, what we cannot do. And the best thing is that we should avoid any conflict with the Afghans, because that conflict is lethal. So we have to be very careful, and we should address this issue with the Afghans through dialogue, no other. And apart from that, our foremost focus must be to address our own domestic situation, because TTP and BLA are our concern. And they are the ones who are creating the mindset which leads to terrorism. And terrorism rises only because when there is no governance, good governance. So there's a despair and despondency. People are unhappy with the government, And that's why these terrorist attacks then take place in your country. Now, for every terrorist attack, they, after all, those terrorists come, whether they come through Tira or they come through Wana, whatever they do, they are coming to Pakistan. So why can't we stop them? That is the problem. That we have to stop within our own country. We have to, although that is why only because we can't. डोमेस्टिक हमारी पोजीशन बहुत खराब है डोमेस्टिकली जब तक हम मजबूत नहीं अपने आप को करेंगे तो these things will keep happening. You see, it is utmost importance that both Iran and Pakistan share intelligence, counterintelligence, counterterrorism, and Afghanistan, Balochistan is a common area for both Iran and Pakistan. And in the past also we have had problems there because again the real problem is the outside part, India and America. They have also their operative groups in Balochistan. India uses them against Pakistan and America uses them against Iran. So this situation is also a dicey situation. इस वजह से I don't think that the Americans will play a positive role because the Americans have their own problems, their own old players who are busy, and those things are happening. Nobody can stop them. So Iran knows them, everything. But Iran, that's why Iran also has allowed the Indians to have access to Balochistan. The Pakistanis will not take care of the situation. So they have to then do their own arrangements, or they have to then rely on India. So this is a complex situation, and the solution that you mentioned is that Iran, Pakistan, India, मैं इंडिया को भी शामिल करता हूँ, we should come together to become partners. Or it's a very difficult task, but this is the only solution that that even China and Russia will welcome, where India and Pakistan become partners in peace and development. And that can be possible only when Modi is gone, because Modi's presence in India has made any India-Pakistan rapprochement totally impossible. It's Modi's philosophy, and he from day one, 2014, he took charge, and the first visit he paid to Dhaka at that time, he met Hasina, and he told her that, look, we got you independence, and now you will see what I do with the Pakistanis. ये उसने 2014 में कहा था. And since then, he is doing those policies. He is doing things to isolate Pakistan. SARC is totally dead because he has not allowed the SARC, which was to be held in Islamabad in 2016. He did not allow this to take place in Islamabad, and even now. So it is 10 years, the SARC has not met summit level, कोई मीटिंग नहीं हुई. तो जब तक मोदी है, तो India is a difficult situation. And in our case, as long as we are domestically conflictual situation से जा रहे हैं, आपस में लड़ाई कर रहे हैं, तो मैं बताता हूं कि nothing will move peacefully with our neighbors.